Is my mother dying? No! No! Don't do that! Oh no! This is very sad. It was my fault my mother died because I drove in the race car when I wasn't supposed to. It's my fault. Oh no! This is all my fault. I feel really sad about this. Welcome back. I am playing Ni No Kuni. This is the second episode in the series. If you'd like to see the first episode, I'll put the link in the description. And I'm discussing these games from an artistic perspective and as a game developer. I like analyzing the techniques that the developers use to convey visual information, how they implemented certain mechanics. It's very interesting to me. Oh, this is fantastic framing. This is not something that I would say. I've been watching the games industry. A modern game developer from the past 7 years or so would not have framed that shot, because a lot of modern game developers, I don't know where they come from, but they don't seem to have a lot of life experiences outside of, I just came from my college course, and then I got hired by a company because I was in a course. Everything, 99% of what we see in the games industry right now is very workmanlike. There's very little artistry going into it. And this game is the opposite of what we see from modern games. That frame shot, viewing the character from the outside where it's raining, you would not see that in a game made by most developers in the past 7 years. But the people that worked on this are really artists. I think they were working closely with the Studio Ghibli animators, most likely, at least a director that was guiding framing shots at the very least in terms of camera placement. Camera placement when I say modern games, I'm going to say within the past 7 years, very workmanlike. They're very boring. What makes art interesting is the life of the artist. The kind of life that you live is what allows you to create art. Sitting in front of a screen and pushing buttons and then letting a computer generate something for you is not art. You did not create that. Art is an expression of a feeling or a thought. It's filtered through your life experiences. It's filtered through your soul. And what really connects so deeply to us on a deeper level is art that is created by people that have had rich and interesting life experiences. You know, people that have been, in World War I, World War II, and those people create art. Maybe they create the Twilight Zone. They are able to create things that are interesting because they've led interesting lives. They have had meaningful life experiences. They have had other skills, other jobs, other careers outside of just making this piece of art. So it is having lived an interesting life. It's having many varied and interesting life experiences. It's facing life's challenges, finding a way to persevere through life's difficulties and challenges. That is what enriches your soul. It makes your soul interesting. It gives color and shape to your soul, and that allows you to create interesting art. This game is interesting art. This is so fascinating and interesting. And the most boring media that we see, the vast majority of media that is being created today, whether that be TV shows, movies, video games, slop that we see on the internet, the worst and most boring vanilla media that we see is created by people who have not had any meaningful life experiences. They are created by people who have been pampered and have lived at home their entire lives, probably still live with their parents. Those people cannot create interesting art because they have not had rich and meaningful life experiences. And what we see from this game is, this is so refreshing. Ni No Kuni, and I haven't even got to the gameplay, but what I've seen so far is so refreshing because I can tell that the people that created this have had interesting lives. They've had meaningful life experiences, and they have led lives that allow them to tell art, to tell a story, to convey a message in an interesting way. This is so interesting to me. That light is just a billboard. The light coming off that lantern is a flat quad. It's a billboard. It's designed to always point at the screen. It's fascinating to me that it seems to be behind the lamp itself, the lantern. Very, very fascinating. This is cute. Kawaii desu. I really want to get to the gameplay. This is so interesting to me. So much of this stuff is just baked. There's actually minimal real-time calculation of light. I see real-time shadows here, but so much of the stuff is baked, and it looks really nice. And I don't know what the performance of this game was like when it came to the frame rate on the original hardware. I feel like this originally launched on the 360, which was about 75 years ago. So 75 years ago, we had the Xbox 360, and I think that's where this game launched. This is so interesting. This is so fascinating to look at. See, those are baked shadows. Look under the plate. That is baked. It has a darker color value, a darker tonal value than the real-time shadows. Interesting it's fun to point those things out. I'll skip ahead a little bit, see if I can get, I've been trying to get Spirited Away for the longest time now. Let's go ahead. Let's see if I can get Spirited Away, go to a wonderful land where I can just catch and battle some monsters. I want that. I want to be Spirited Away. The eye highlights are baked into the eye. I don't see the eye highlights moving. That's something that is actually quite complex and takes a fair bit of programming work. I'm going to discuss Digimon Storytime Stranger, and the eye highlights on the characters are implemented in a fascinating way. I believe it's implemented on a shader level in a way to where no matter what angle the camera is looking at the camera, is looking at the character, there's always going to be some highlight on the eye. It's so fascinating. It's the only game I've seen implement eye highlights that way, but it makes it so that regardless of the light source, your character's eyes are going to look like they are alive and vibrant because they have the highlight there. This is baked in. You can see the highlight of the eye, that bright circle. It has nothing to do with any of the light sources in the scene. It faithfully style matches the hand-drawn art. But I think maybe programmatically it would have been a bit difficult for them to implement a way to have the eye highlight react to the environmental sources. The billboard for the light on the lantern, sometimes you can see the billboard clip into this character's nose. In the previous episode in this series, I showed how light shafts streaming in through the window can actually clip through your character. You can see where the geometry intersects another piece of geometry. You can actually see the billboard of the haloing, the light effect from that lantern, because it's not really light. It's not, this game didn't have access to volumetric lighting, which is quite expensive in terms of rendering. So they had to convey a sense of light, of density in the atmosphere. This is a very efficient way to do it. It's very performant, but sometimes you can see it clip through. And it's not really a big deal. It's such a small non-issue, but I just find it interesting. This is so very pleasant to look at, but you'll notice things like the light streaming in through the window. That is a baked light source. All of the lighting here is baked, and you can see the shadows being cast from my character have nothing to do with the light coming in through the window. My light source for the character is actually coming in at a totally different angle, but that light source is specifically to make the character look interesting because we need the two tones on the character. We have the mid-tones and the darker tones, the lower tonal values on that, the darker values. We need two values to make the character look three-dimensional. And so they place the lighting to where it makes the character look interesting, at least. I think I'm supposed to look for a spell book here. Please spirit me away now. This is pre-rendered. So I was just experiencing real-time gameplay, and now this is pre-rendered. This is not real-time gameplay. This is a movie file, a full motion video. Interesting. I can discuss why developers would use full motion video instead of real-time visuals, but basically it boils down to, if you use a real-time video, you don't have to program that scene in its entirety to run in the game engine and the game framework, and it takes a lot of work to program a cinematic. If you use a real-time, if you used a non-real-time, you used a full motion video, you can just script it in chunks, and you can script it in settings outside of the game running to where you don't have to program it as part of the game logic. You just script it in whatever environment, and you don't have to have it in the programming, which means it doesn't take up memory. You don't have to tell your programmers, hey, this has to work in the engine. So logistically, it's a lot easier. It takes less work, less effort, and the end result means there's less strain on the hardware and the game engine itself. That's why developers use so much full motion video. I gotta put my name in here. Well, let's see here. I guess, where's the lowercase? Here we go. Hot Dog. That is me. I'm Hot Dog. Yes, I am. We're back to full motion video, and again, this is good because you can have an animation team. You can have an animation team just do the full motion video, and it means it's less work for the programmers. So that means that you're able to split up the work to other team members so that the programmers can just focus on the game. Good gracious, this is beautiful. The color choices that they've chosen to express this environment, to express the time of day, this is beautiful. If this was created on, you know, as a modern game, you know, in the past 7 years, this has to be older than 10 years. This has to be. I'm not seeing any normal data. There's no normal mapping. I see normal map is part of the material for geometry that allows us to define bumpiness. So when we have real-time lighting on environments, we can say, you know, this part is meant to be kind of bumpy. If this was real-time, modern game, you would see normal mapping on the walkway. You would see much more harshness in the shadows between the grass and the dirt path. You'd see much more highlights and darker areas in the walkway here. So there's no normal data on that. Very interesting. But a lot of this, you know, it's still very interesting. You see a little bit of bloom, very, very tasteful use of bloom. Many modern games have an over-reliance on it because, like I said, many modern developers don't have a lot of experience or understanding outside of whatever small bubble they've lived in, so they don't really understand visual communication or art, and they don't understand how to make something look good. They don't understand that on a deeper level, so they have to rely on game engines to brute force making things look shiny. And bloom is a way to break the line in a brute force way that is, you don't need any intelligence to enable bloom and to crank up bloom. It breaks the line, technically, but not in a good way. And it's much better to have developers who have, if they're part of the environment building, it's important for them to be artists, is to have experience, deep, meaningful experience as artists, and we often do not see that. I'm seeing a lot of modern games that are clearly made by people that just, they were, you know, they took a college course and then they were sent to work in a studio somewhere, and they're just not the right people. They don't have enough artistic understanding to be doing the work that they're being assigned to, and they need more life experience. And you know, I'm not saying all of that to be mean, and I'm not trying to gatekeep game development. This is why I'm trying to help other people with game development. This channel is a place where I can help explain art through these videos. I want to help you understand how artists are achieving these effects. I want to help you improve your skills and your understanding as an artist and a game developer. So it's not about gatekeeping. It's about pointing out the fact that the industry has been hiring people that are not appropriate for the roles which they are being assigned to when it comes to game development. And we need to steer the industry back to a place where we are hiring people based on their experience, their capability, and how appropriate they are for the role which they are being assigned to. And we should be hiring the very best artists, the very best people to create art, to create games. And the exact opposite of that is letting people who have no life experience, who have no understanding of anything that they're doing, of hiring people like that and then hitting generate on an AI generator. If we do that, we're just going to keep getting more and more garbage. It's just garbage. And if you do that long enough, it'll be normalized, and then our culture will think, oh, garbage is good, we'll just keep eating garbage. So it's important that we find a way to celebrate the art that is created with effort and competence. And I'm only bringing this up, I didn't think I would discuss this topic, but seeing this game shows me that our games should be this beautiful. This is created by real artists, and what we're seeing from the games industry, not so much. And there are exceptions. For example, Digimon Story Time Stranger. That is gorgeous. I think every game should have the caliber of people that worked on Digimon Story Time Changer. That is the caliber of people that we need working on games, because this is an art form and we should be celebrating art, we should be celebrating life, and we should be inspiring people. What we tell people is, hey, we need you to live a full, good life, and it would be great if you would be an artist and to tell stories of life, to express something, to say something to people that is meaningful. And you cannot do that with slop, letting a computer generate it for you. Digimon Story Time Changer was so heartening to see, because it was created by artists who really know what they're doing, who have something to say and who know how to say it. And this game, I haven't even got to the gameplay yet, and I can tell, oh yeah, this was created by artists. This was created by people who know what they're doing. I'll skip ahead now. Now I'm to cast a spell here. I cast Magic Missile on the darkness. This is it. I'm getting spirited away. All right. Spirit me away where I can catch some monsters and do some battling. This is gorgeous. Wow. And I like that they're reinforcing that normal people can't see magic. Little fella said that. But the dog noticed something was there, but the lady did not see it. I like that. Come on, come on. Spirit me away already. I'm here. I'm spirited away. All right. This is still a full motion video. Oh man, you gotta let me catch some monsters and do some battling. Let me go. Let me fight some monsters. This is, oh yeah. This is nice to look at. This is very pleasant. I like that. I like the little wind effect. Oh, ho, ho, ho. This is a full motion video, but is the game gonna look like this? Is this how the game looks? Yeah. This is just visually very satisfying. Is this my starter? Please tell me this is my starter Pokemon. What is this? I don't know what it is. He's adorable. He's got like a little... He's like a cub. He's like a lion cub with a little... He's a fluff cub. No, I want to catch this Pokemon and make him a Freyon. We did it. We're smearing. We're in the first battle. Oh boy, I'm delighted. Rough. What a delight. I wish to catch this Pokemon. Oh, wow. Look at the environment. Have a look at the use of elevation. The developers have shaped this environment. This is obviously a fixed, scripted environment, which is why I strongly prefer, when it comes to RPG battles, to have them in separate environments, because it means you can have them more detailed. You can have the camera be more dynamic and interesting. They have different elevations to make the scene interesting, and they have broken the line. These are strong artists. I often discuss the art concept of breaking the line. In this way, in terms of composition, you can see that there's an unevenness to the texture, to the terrain, right? You see darker areas that are in shadows. You see where the rock wall rises up out of the grass. We have broken that line with this grass. Back here, oh, we have some, what kind of looks like water or something back there. We have stone. We have uneven terrain that curves up. This is gorgeous. People may not understand why this looks so much better than, say, for example, Pokemon. Let's say the latest Pokemon game, Pokemon Legends ZA. There is nothing in Legends ZA that comes anywhere close, not even a fraction close, of looking good like this. There's nothing in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet that looks anywhere close to this. And the reason why this looks so much better is because they have broken the line. Here we have broken the line, not just in terms of composition, but in terms of tonal dynamic values. You have the light clouds, the dark shadows there. And in the distance, it looks like they're using distance fog to fade out to where it looks like there's atmospheric haze right here. Gorgeous. This is the first battle of the game. This is S rank, beautiful. I'm ranking this S, absolutely beautiful. And I'm not going to cut away. I'm not going to edit this and then cut to a Pokemon game because I think it would be very insulting. I'm not here to make fun of the Pokemon games and say negative things. I want to help developers do better, to understand how to do better, because I myself am constantly pushing to improve. I want to keep improving. I want to keep getting better, not just as an artist, but as a developer. And I need to keep working hard at that every day. And I want to encourage other people to keep working hard and to do their best as artists as well, because if those artists create something I want to experience, I want to enjoy it. I know how to battle, all right, guy? I know how to do a battle. I've done a battle or two in my time. I may be old, but I know how to do an RPG battle. All right. I'm gonna thump you with my stick. Oh, I did a double hit. Okay, now what's going on here? Ooh, the enemy will have a weak spot. Or okay, what is that? It drops something. Do I run around? Oh, I run around. I'm giving him the run around. Okay, this is oh, I didn't know I was gonna get to do a little bit of run around here. Green glims will store some of my HP. Okay, I get it. I get it. The pickups are color-coded to my meters. So I want to thump. So I avoid the attack manually. Give him a thump. Ouch. Now I don't want to knock him out. When do I get a Pokeball? I'm gonna thump you real good. I thumped him. He poofed into a little cloud and he's gone forever. I hope I get a Pokeball for the next battle. What a delight. Just look at this scene. There's a soft haziness. There's a little bit of a blurring in the background. This is just fantastic. I'm really... Ooh, I'm enjoying this already, and it's already just started. I think I'll just clamp it here for the episode, and I'm going to go straight into recording a third episode. I really need to get back to finishing my game. Hero of Destiny was killed by the final boss. This is so delightful. I want to just record another episode for this. I'm really enjoying this, and I really want to get to catching some Pokemon here. Okay, thanks very much for spending some time with me today. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. It was a little bit more philosophical today, but now that we are in the magical realm where I've been spirited away, I think we can focus on catching some battling monsters, I think. Okay, I'll see you in the next episode. Take care of yourselves. Be well.